Former Reagan economist Art Laffer is with us. Art, I find this amazing. The leader of China's Communist Party rallies Western business executives in opposition to capitalist America. You ever seen anything like this?
No, I've never seen anything like that. And I've been familiar with China for a long time. And frankly, it is amazing. And it's done in Davos, no less. I mean, there you have the elite meet to eat sweets. And they sit there in this pandered environment, all talking about how classless someone else is. Duh. It's terrible.
But I got to say, I'm worried about the mounting opposition and what the left is calling the legitimacy of the Trump presidency. I think it frays our democracy. I think that's a problem for the world of money just as much as the world of politics and democracy.
Well, if you look at legitimacy, I mean, there have been elections that have literally gone on and were decided by the House in March or April. If you look at the presidency going back in time, illegitimacy has been a keynote of U.S. presidential and congressional and Senate elections. So don't think this is any different than anywhere else. Look at Bush.
But it's never been like this before. It's never been so intense. The level of contempt has never been quite at this level. I mean, you go back to Ronald Reagan. When Ronald Reagan walked into the White House, they called him Ronald Reagan. But they got over it very, very quickly. This time's different.
But if you go back to 1860, I mean, come on. This is a part and parcel of really highly partisan politics, and it's going on now. It will be over. Don't worry. These are just children screaming at the TV sets. I don't think it's a big deal going forward, and I'm not worried about the boycotting the inauguration and all of that nonsense. What I did see in Theresa May, though, if I may, Stuart, is as you know, I've worked with Lady Thatcher probably almost as much as I did with Reagan for all those years. This lady is incredible. That speech was the best speech. She's got the greatest speechwriters, and she's got the greatest message going. I think there could be a huge partnership once again with the U.S. and Britain. It is. I was just again. Did you see in just the one where she's talking about trade with America?
Yep.
She used Q in one part of the sentence and line in the second part. I mean, how well written was that speech? How well delivered it was.
Wouldn't it be nice to go back to the days of Margaret Thatcher and Ronald Reagan in conjunction beating the Soviet? Love to see it.
I have not been a fan of hers, but I am now. I'm 100% a May fan.
We all are. Thanks very much, Art. Stay there. We're going to bring you back on the show a bit later on.
Thank you.
Reagan economist Art Laffer is back, and what do you say to Mr. Summers?
Well, I don't think he's right. He may be right, but I don't think so. I think Donald Trump comes in with the lowest bar imaginable. If you look at all of these wonderful presidents that had very high approval ratings, by the time they got to the midterm elections, they had real problems. They'd fallen dramatically. I think Donald Trump has such a low bar and has such a political lock on the next 4 years that I think he could really deliver shockingly, improving his ratings throughout the entire 4 years. And I'm very excited about him doing that. If he does the right economics, Stuart, it's going to be a win-win-win for everyone.
Here's a real fast. There's a problem this morning. Mr. Trump does not like the border adjustment tax that is being written into corporate tax reform. Real fast, where do you stand on this, Art?
It's a very dangerous issue, and the border tax adjustment, if done correctly, could be wonderful. But I don't think these people know straight up from Sikkim in the House or the Senate or in the White House, for that matter. And I think they'd be best to leave things like that alone. And just if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Okay. The markets. Well, thanks very much, Art. Appreciate you being with us.
It is my pleasure, Stuart.